It's Friday, the 23rd of February 2018, and welcome to Navigating Your Day. In Jinshin Jitsu, safety energy lock number 23 came into the universe meaning proper circulation maintenance. So when safety energy lock number 23 is in harmony, then things are able to circulate and flow. So this is, from a physical point of view, can be your blood, it can be all the chemicals, neurotransmitters, hormones, digestive enzymes, anything that's liquid in the body. It can be a flow of emotion, the circulation of emotion, allowing the emotions to circulate freely as opposed to trying to dam them up or suppress them. It can be allowing energy to flow freely between you and other people. It's about the flow, maintaining the flow of you keeping your connection and your integrity and then reaching out to others as well. So it's flow and circulation in anything that moves and circulates in the universe, and that includes energy in the body. So 23 is a 5, and 5 is about adaptation. 5 is about being able to change, to adapt to changing circumstances. So flow, if you think about a river, when a river, I don't know, let's say there's a krantz on the side of the river and then there's a rock slide, right? So these massive rocks fall into the river, center of the river, like big, like they're protruding out of the river. The water doesn't like go trying to get rid of the rock. The water just flows around the rocks. It just reroutes itself until eventually over time you might find the entire river reroutes itself to a certain extent, or it just carries on flowing around and erodes the rocks from the bottom, and they get smaller and smaller until eventually they end up over thousands of years just being pebbles. So 5 is about adapting to change, and 5 really helps us to connect to that. And so 23, which is where the 5 comes from, 2 and 3 is 5, the 23 is about allowing us to actually regulate the flow within ourselves and our lives. 5, as I said, is the inventor. 5 has got lots of adrenaline. 5 is very analytical and very much the analytical thinker. And so we want to just guard against getting sort of analysis paralysis, overthinking, overanalyzing, and not actually connecting to our feelings, because we've got the 2s from February in 2018. And so those 2s help us to connect deeply to our emotions towards ourselves and our emotions towards other people. And so today we have a tension in the life map between this energy of the analytical 5 and the more emotional 2s. The hero today is a 9. So 9 in the hero position. 9 is a unique number because it contains all the elements. So it has a little bit of air, which is the intellectual function, a little bit of water, which is the emotional function, a bit of fire, which is the creative function, and a bit of earth, which is the practical, logical function. So 9 does help to balance these elements a bit in the hero position. 9 in the hero is about... it's basically about doing what you want to do, right? Because what ends up happening with a 5, 5s don't like to be boxed in. 5s want to feel like they've got options. People with lots of 5s in their life map very often get claustrophobic. They don't like underground, they don't like small spaces, they don't like lifts and stuff, because they want to feel, it's an air number, right? They want to feel as if they have options. They have a big connection to freedom. And so if you think about children, little children are actually free to do whatever they want, basically. And what I mean by that is not in a bad way, or not in a way that is debilitating to anyone else, but basically, okay, if any of you have ever tried to get a 2 or 3-year-old to do something they absolutely don't want to do, it usually results in a massive tantrum, because children are connected to themselves. They're connected to what it is that they need in order to feel good. And so whether it's building a puzzle, or whether it's reading a story, or whether it's taking a nap, or whether it's having a snack, whatever it is, or playing, that is children are connected to that, and children spend most of the time playing. It looks like they're playing, but children spend a lot of time learning. So when children are playing in the sand pit, they're learning about getting things in, like sand into buckets. They're learning about those gross motor and those fine motor functions. They're learning about the properties of sand. Actually, they are constantly exploring their environment and learning and absorbing information. Children are like sponges, right? Absorbing information about the environments. And so 9 allows us, the 9 in the hero position allows us to connect to that childlike energy. Children know how to have fun. They know how to take the simplest thing and turn it into something that they find fun. They also know when something doesn't serve them and they don't want to do it anymore. Because when it's no longer fun, they don't want to do it anymore. And as adults, we really lose that ability. We lose that ability to discern because we become bogged down in responsibility and what you must and should and ought and need to do. So that 9 in the hero position helps us to connect to, what do I love? What do I want? What inspires me? And that is the beauty of that here. And when we can see what it is that we truly want, we connect to what it was that we want and what do we love and what inspires us, then the 5, that 23 today, helps us to find ways. It's an inventor. It helps us to find ways to bring that into our lives while still focusing on nurturing ourselves and nurturing others. The villain today is also a 5. And so when we have a 5 in the villain position and we have a 5 in the day, okay, so it's a different 5, right? So it's a bit technical. It is a different 5, but 5 in the villain position basically leads to potential burnout and anxiety. So when we have 5 in the villain position, our fears and our anxieties can become overwhelming. And when they become totally overwhelming, then it can overwhelm the 5 at the beginning of the life map. And that then can lead to either lots of emotion, lots of thinking, too much in the head, excessive stress, lots of fear, overwhelm. And there happens to be no earth in the life map today. So we need to really focus on earthing ourselves today. So meditation, where you visualize your energy actually going through your feet and rooting you in the ground, lying on the earth, walking on the sand, barefoot on the beach, working in the garden, actually just being outside in nature. That helps to earth us. Warm food, root vegetables, proteins. Those are earthing kind of foods, and enough water so that we can actually get those elements to flow better in our lives. Because remember, 23 is about circulation and maintenance, and it's about maintaining the flow. So those are all things that you can do to help mitigate some of this potentially excessive, can be, not for everybody, but it can be like quite an anxious and anxiety driven kind of day. You're just not getting to everything. It starts having that frantic feeling to it, right? So that's what we want to guard against today. Luckily, we have Jinshin Jitsu, so we can harmonize safety energy lock number 23. Now, I've spoken so much, I've forgotten which finger. Yes. We can harmonize safety energy lock number 23 by holding the little finger. And the little finger harmonizes the analytical function of the small intestine and the excessive joy of the heart. The excessive joy being all the pretense. I'm fine, everything's great. I don't need help, don't worry, I'm okay. The pretense and the trying tos. Too much striving, too much doing, okay? Not taking enough time for ourselves, not taking the measures, not caring enough for ourselves, not nurturing ourselves enough to just actually do a few of those things that I suggested could earth you today, or anything that makes you feel earthed and grounded. Those of us who've got lots of earth in our own life maps might find it somewhat easier today. If you've got lots of air, if there's 5s and 1s in your life map, you may find it slightly more challenging. Hold your little finger when things start getting rough. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you again next week.